With the grandeur of God in you, you have chosen to be little and to lament your littleness. Within the system that dictated this choice, the lament is inevitable. Your littleness is taken for granted there, and you do not ask, who granted it? Grandiosity is a defense against littleness. It says we are not little, but gargantuan, for we are God. Littleness, however, is the belief that we are sinful, guilt-ridden creatures, terrified of being wrathfully destroyed by heaven's heavy hand. This insane thinking makes sense only within the ego's dream of littleness, wherein we deserve to be punished for our sin. However, outside the battleground of madness, such thoughts are foolishness, deserving only gentle laughter. Incidentally, note the word play on granted. We assume, take for granted, that littleness is our reality because the ego told us it is. But we never ask who gave us, granted, that identity. Jesus is teaching us the redeeming fact that we, as decision-making minds, are the grantors as well as the grantees. This, then, is Jesus' plea to the decision maker, and we are seeing more and more that it is the mind to whom Jesus speaks. I am not talking to you, a body. Who would talk to a shadow? I address you, the decision maker who made the insane choice for the ego. We never think about who granted us this guilt, but simply take it for granted. To borrow Jesus' wordplay, guilt is our identity, but we never consider where it came from. We deny that it came from us, the decision-making mind that chose to listen to the ego's lies of separation and then proceed to defend these untruths to the death, literally. The question is meaningless within the ego's thought system because it would open the whole thought system to question. Another play on words. The question from the previous passage, who granted it, an obvious reference to the decision maker, makes no sense within the ego system because within it there is no mind, no decision maker, but only mindless bodies. The ego never lets us remember who granted the guilt, rendering the question, the interrogative, meaningless because that would open the ego's thought system to question, doubt. Suspecting the ego's reality, we would come to realize that its grandiose thought system of separation was made up. We will see presently how the ego's version of forgiveness attempts to keep its grandiosity under the guise of loving right-mindedness. I have said that the ego does not know what a real question is. Lack of knowledge of any kind is always associated with unwillingness to know, and this produces a total lack of knowledge simply because knowledge is total. One more wordplay, this time with the word total. We do not know who we are as part of totality, wholeness, because we are unwilling to know. Questioning the ego leads to the total, the complete undoing of our false belief or dissolution, and this threatens our specialness. Doubting the ego's thought system of separation returns us to the mind's power to choose, the source of all pain and suffering. We can blame no one except ourselves for our distressing lives, for it is our dream, we are its dreamers, by the mind's decision. Not to question your littleness, therefore, is to deny all knowledge and keep the ego's whole thought system intact. You cannot retain part of a thought system because it can be questioned only at its foundation. And this must be questioned from beyond it because within its foundation does stand. This is the perfect rationale for the world, for the world's existence. The ego knows that if we ever question our littleness, its thought system would disappear into its own unreality. The way to prevent questioning our decision to be separated ego selves is to deny the mind. Once mindless, there is no way that we, the decision-making mind, can question who we are. We accept our puny identity and take for granted that it is our self, small s, born into the world as a body that had no say in the matter of its birth. We are not allowed by the ego, on penalty of incurring its vicious path, to go back to the source of the problem that, as depicted on the chart, and I'm going to go right to the chart right now, is found in the black dot at the head of the split mind. All power to choose heaven or hell lies there. It is the power to make the illusion real and the impossible possible, the foundation of the ego's existence. Since this insanity can be questioned only from beyond its thought system, Jesus again appeals to the decision-making part of our minds to choose again.